everyone! Today, I'd like to talk about the southern sea of Korea, the area along the southern coast. The southern coast stretching from Jeollanam-do province to Gyeongsang-nam-do province is called the Mediterranean of Korea. It's a place where countless islands and sprinkle like jewels over the deep blue sea, so the natural scenery is gorgeous. There are also so many delicious foods, including abundant seafood and various fruits. In addition, there are historical sites related to Admiral Lee Sun-shin, one of the most important figures in Korea history. So now let me introduce two national parks where you can enjoy the beautiful nature of Namhae as well as Yeosu, Tongyeong, and Namhae, where you can see the traces of Lee Sun-shin. In Korea, the east, west, and south all border by the sea. It's called a peninsula because it's surrounded by the sea on three sides. Interestingly, all three seas have their own unique characteristics. The three seas are all different in topography, depth, sediment, and the kinds of fish that live there. The East Sea is a deep blue ocean. The West Sea has a complex coastline and muddy flats, and the South Sea has numerous islands and a warm climate. The South Coast, the coast from Songdo, Busan to Haenam, Jeollanam-do, is a coastline that is jagged and complex. There are more than 2,000 islands along this coast, so it's called Dadohae in Korean. Dadohae can be translated as an archipelago in English, which means sea with many islands. Namhae is an archipelago with an extensive number of islands, which is rarity in the world. Then how did all these islands created? About 18,000 years ago, during the Ice Age, the Southern Sea wasn't a sea at all, but land. When the Ice Age ended and the glaciers began to recede, the temperature of the Earth rose, the glaciers melted, and the water levels increased. At the time, the low part of the southern coast was submerged in the sea, and many islands were created. These colorful islands spread out over the blue sea are designated as national parks due to their outstanding scenery. Centered around Yeosu in Jeollanam-do, Hallyeohaesang National Park is located in the east with Dadohae National Park in the west. Dadohae National Park consists of about 400 islands and the sea around Sinangun, Jindogun, Wandogun, Goheung-gun, and Yeosu-si in Jeollanam-do province. It's a real coast with cliffs, so the scenery is quite breathtaking. Among the many islands, Hongdo and Huksan-do are the most popular tourist destinations. In particular, Hongdo is a small rocky island with a circumference about 20 kilometers, but it's famous for its coastline with red camellia trees and cliffs. Hongdo is a home to many endangered plants and insects, and the entire island is designated as a natural monument. Huksan-do Island is a black-color island located far away in the southern seas, so it was used as an island to imprison criminals in the past. However, now it's a popular travel destination. It's a place where you can catch a lot of skates, a food that is only consumed in Korea. Skates from Huksan-do Island are recognized as the best in Korea. Skate, a fermented food, is quite a hard challenge even for Koreans. So if you come to Korea, it would be very exciting to try eating some skate after kimchi and 청국장. In Dadohae Haesang National Park, there is a miracle island where the sea splits called 진도. Every year in May and June, 진도 opens a 2.8 kilometer by 50-meter seaway like the miracle performed by Moses in the Bible. Since there are many tourists when this happens, a unique folk festival called 영등제 is also held at the same time. 영등제 is an ancestral rite held for 영등신, the god of rain and wind, in hopes of safely catching a lot of fish. It's a festival usually held on the coast or an island. In addition, in Dadohae Haesang National Park, you can see large and small uninhabited islands with fantastic rock formations. With a beautiful blue sea as a backdrop, the rocky landscape is outstanding, and more than 300 types of subtropical plants can be found here, making it worthy. 한려 Haesang National Marine Park, which is the eastern part of Dadohae, was designated as a Korean first maritime national park in 1968. It includes Dadohae, 비진도, and 해금강, consisting of a total of 6 districts from 지심도 to 거제, 통영, 사천, 하동, and 여수 오동도. As a marine park where the sea occupies 75% of the total area, it's a popular tourist attraction visited by more than 1 million tourists every year, with a magnificent natural scenery created by the sea islands and shores. 한산도 and 통영, 남해 are also historical sites where Admiral Lee Sun-shin of Joseon defeated Japanese naval forces. It's a popular place as a historical tourist destination because there are many relics related to the Japanese invasion of Korea in 1592. 여수 is where Admiral Lee Sun-shin trained soldiers and built a turtle ship in preparation for war. There were fierce naval battles during the Imjin War throughout the land, including the seas between 한산도, 통영, 사천, 진도, and 해남. About 430 years ago, the Imjin War, a war in which Japan invaded Joseon, broke out. At the time, Joseon wasn't prepared for the war. There were no soldiers or weapons to fight against the Japanese troops, which had been preparing for a long time. The Japanese troops occupied the capital, Hanyang, within only 20 days and even Pyongyang in just 2 months. The king of Joseon had to retreat from Hanyang to Pyongyang and from Pyongyang to Uiju in north. The whole country was about to be taken over by Japan within 2 months since the war starts. Just when things seemed most hopeless, Admiral Lee Sun-shin, who protected the Sea of Joseon, began to fight back. When Japan invaded Korea in 1592, Lee Sun-shin was a general in charge of the naval forces in the westernmost region of Jeollado province. No one knew the war was coming, and only Admiral Lee Sun-shin was preparing for it. The troops led by Admiral Lee Sun-shin were training, preparing weapons and food, and making battleships and the famed turtle ship. To do this, Lee Sun-shin won a series of victories and dealt a huge blow to Japan. Japan was thinking of carrying weapons and food to the soldiers who went up to the northern region by boat. However, the sea route was taken by Lee Sun-shin, and it became impossible for Japan to properly supply weapons and food. Admiral Lee Sun-shin, who saved Joseon, was slandered and stripped of the position of general due to the envy and jealousy of others. In the following sea battle, without the leadership of Lee Sun-shin, the Joseon army was defeated by the Japanese army again. And the king of Joseon regretted his previous actions and appointed Lee Sun-shin as the general again. When the Japanese army rushed in with hundreds of warships, Lee Sun-shin had only 13. At this time, Lee Sun-shin said to the generals and soldiers, "If you try to die, you will live, and if you try to live, you will die. Everyone prepared to die and fight. Then you will certainly win." So Admiral Lee Sun-shin attracted the Japanese army into Myeongyang, a narrow strait between Jindo and Haenam in Jeollanam-do province. It was a place where the number of Japanese ships counted for nothing, as they couldn't all attack at once. Also, the flow of the sea was so fast that the Japanese ships couldn't move easily. Lee Sun-shin's strategy was successful, and he defeated 133 Japanese ships with only 13 Korean ships. This battle was the Myeongyang Daecheop, a victory against all odds that is hard to find in world history. Admiral Lee Sun-shin later died in the Battle of Noryang, the final naval battle of the Imjin War, which completely drove out the Japanese army. With this last naval battle, the long Imjin War finally came to an end. The hero, Admiral Lee Sun-shin, is now one of the most loved historical figures of Korea, along with King Sejong. Most of the Dadohae area is crowded with the travelers, as there are not only many historical sites related to Lee Sun-shin, but also beautiful scenery and plenty of food. So please allow me to tell you about one last place. That's Yeosu. Yeosu, which has a beautiful night view, was the first place in Korea to install a marine cable car that passes over the sea. The length of the marine cable car journey is about 1.5 kilometers, and you can see the Yeosu World Expo site, Odongdo Island, with its beautiful camellias, and the dazzling night sea of Yeosu at a glance. Also, due to the song Yeosu Night Sea, released by popular Korean singer, Yeosu has become an even more popular travel destination recently. From the beautiful nature of archipelago, the historical story of Admiral Lee Sun-shin, and the sentimental nights of Yeosu, I hope you all remember it as a place to visit if you come to Korea. Thank you for listening.